Silicon Valley Forum for having me, and thank you so much for attendees for zooming in. So the topic that says improbable founder doesn't mean like it's an impossible founder. I want to take you through my journey that has taken me this far. Nobody has been traveling, I guess, for the past 18 months. So I'll take you to the travel journey that in my case start from Vietnam, where I was born. I'm half Chinese. Back then, I didn't know that Chinese are the minorities in Vietnam, and I was only 4 when we moved to Finland. So I always play with an idea like, if I have stayed, what would my profession be if I was still growing up in Vietnam? Would I be taking over my grandparents' side of the business from my mom's side in a restaurant and hotel industry? Or would I follow my dad's footsteps in a hat business, running a business and having a manufacturing and doing all the wholesale hat business? I would have no, or I would probably be selling Vietnamese pho somewhere at the corner. But then my journey takes me to Finland next, from all the way to the warm Southeast Asia to Finland when I was 4. How we get there was thanks to my 3 uncles. They were the first Vietnamese refugees in Finland in 1979. So we were lucky to just fly over. And being 4, I started school learning the languages and everything there. I didn't realize I was different, even though I was surrounded by all the classmates that are mostly blonde hair and blue eyes. But I thought I fit in. And you remember back in the days when you're first grade, people were asking you, what are you going to be when you grow up? I knew already by then I love traveling, I love people, I love the cultures. So I thought, it's going to be a flight attendant, right? Now I'm just realizing to sharing my screen to you. And I quickly realized that actually, sorry, can you see my screen now? Or are you just seeing myself?
We can see your screen.
Okay, perfect. Okay, cool. I'm just leaving it on. So my first dream job was just being a flight attendant because I get to travel. But I quickly realized that I wasn't going to be tall enough. I wasn't going to be more than 5 feet. I'm actually not even 5 feet. So don't tell DNB that, because my California driver's license stated I'm 5 feet, but I'm only 4'11". And the other thing that wouldn't work, that I'm actually blind as a bat. Can't see well, but I love wearing my glasses. So that dream job didn't work out. What's my next one was, I thought, I'm going to be a diplomat. I get to travel. I get to represent Finland. And so I studied and chose all my path according to that. Luckily, growing up in Finland, amazing opportunity. Not just Finland gave us a home and new opportunities, great education. I took all the languages possible. Finland has 2 official languages, Finnish and Swedish. So I took on Swedish. I took on French. I took on Spanish. I'm not fluent in any of those anymore, but I'm really good at numbers because I love hustling and marketing with numbers. I do have my Chinese blood after all, right? So I studied according to that and took all the opportunities that came along. I took a language course in the UK. I spent a year in Michigan as an exchange student. And then I spent another year as an exchange student in France while in college. And then after graduating on my marketing and international business degree, I got an opportunity to go to Silicon Valley, working for the Finnish government, representing Finland. It was 6 months stint that I told my mom I was going to go to. Turned out to be the whole year. And then I actually, at 23, I finally got to work towards the diplomatic career in Los Angeles for the Foreign Minister of Finland, for the embassy. Technically, it's Consulate General of Finland when it's in Los Angeles and LA, and the embassy would be in the capital. I got to work 2 years in Los Angeles representing Finland, but then I was missing the business part of working and knowing and learning business through different companies. I got another opportunity coming back to Silicon Valley in 2007, working for the Business Finland, where I met Denise. A dream job coming through. My job was to foster the connections, collaborations between Finland and the US on all the level through startups, collaborating with startups and Silicon Valley ecosystem, working with Silicon Valley Forum, or with the Stanford and Berkeley, UCLA universities, collaborating with think tanks, and also working on the visits to big corporations. All that things that I get to build up my network. I didn't realize that's such a great assets I was building for myself. A lot working my job and seeing hundreds of Finnish companies. They were so good in technology, in services, products they were making, but nobody knew it was from Finland. And I was thinking, man, those neighboring countries, Sweden does that so well in branding and marketing. And I thought, how I need to learn that. I need to learn how these French and Italian luxury branding house has done that. They created that brands 200 years ago and still remain known to this date. So I took a year off, jump out of my very comfortable zone to do my MBA in Shanghai. It wasn't just MBA, it was actually focusing on luxury branding, particularly in Shanghai and in Paris. And again, there I was different in terms of age. I was already 37. Most of my fellow MBA alumni were over 10 years younger than myself. But I really enjoyed learning and jumping to totally new field, new industry, and learn the art of luxury branding. I came back with Business Finland. Back in the day, the name was actually Finnish Funding Agency for Technology and Innovation. And most of my colleagues were engineer backgrounded, and I was again one of the few marketing and business background, again different in the crowd. But then I was so lucky to have supervisors and boss when after I came back from the MBA, they were supporting me. Dongsu, why don't we just created a consumer program to help Finnish consumer brands and design companies as well, not just the technology part. And that was again, I was able to do the job that I love. But what happened in Shanghai while I was doing MBA also was I got my first spark for my current startup idea. And it took me 4 years. I kept talking and pitching when I came back to Silicon Valley. As you talk with all your fellow, while you're networking in Silicon Valley, oh, what would you do? What would you be doing if you're not doing this? What do you do after work? Everybody has there's sort of like a second dream or second, what would I do if I could? If I win $1 million, or what would I jump on to do? So I had this idea of Instant Noodle 2.0. I promised Dennis I'm going to pitch about it, so I'm going to honor that. And I was still very happily working with Business Finland, helping Finnish companies enter to the US market, and doing collaboration and different representing Finland proudly in the US. But I kept waking up to the question to myself: what would it be to be a founder, or to go for this idea that I had? And after talking to your closest friends and for my husband, I'm like, okay, you need to stop talking and start doing. And I play around with an idea and talk with mentors and investor potential, like what does it take to be a founder in Silicon Valley, and what do I need to sort of like give up, and one of them was like, so are you ready to share an apartment with 4 to 6 different roommates? I'm like, I don't think so. I don't even share my bed with my husband since he lives in Finland and I live here. We've been together for 18 years, and 10 years of that we've been in different continents. But since I turned 40 in 2018, I actually took a really hard and active thinking with myself, like, what would it be to quit my very comfortable, the job that I love, the colleagues that I love working with. And I did that very hard thinking for the next 7 months to build up the courage to start a company. So in 2019, beginning of the year, I did quit my job, of my dream job of 16 years with Finnish government. It was the dream come true since I was 7 that this is the job I love to do, but it was something hindering that I need to find out whether I can do it or not. Is this the startup that I'm running currently? Fast forward, starting it 2 years from now, and we launched the company and we launched the product during the mid of pandemic. And you would ask, what have I sacrificed? What have I, what did I, how did I do it? And how did it work out? Working out so well, encouraging everyone to think of you being an improbable founder, as I was when I was starting at the age of 41. I was starting a startup in a technology and innovation hub in Silicon Valley. Being a non-tech background, I don't code. I don't even understand much of the programming languages. You're talking about Java. I'm like, oh, you want to know my favorite coffee? Or it would be a double espresso over ice. And you're gonna, my friends like, what are you gonna do? Oh, it's gonna be a startup over consumer brand in food. Those who know me know that I don't cook. I don't even love cooking. All I did was I love eating. I enjoy eating. I enjoy talking about food. But fast forward, I do miss my serendipity, be able to shop and buy things, beautiful things people have created in branding and packaging wise. I miss going to visiting my friends. They invited me every weekend to feed and cook for me. Take them an expensive champagne bottle. I can't do that anymore. I'm buying the best deal French rosé from Trader Joe's, and I'm using the same lotion that I use from head to toe, to cheeks, to butt cheeks and toes. Except when every time I go to Finland, I'm borrowing. I'm actually stealing my sister's a facial serum. I haven't been to pedicure with paraffin for over 2 years. I miss those, but has it stopped me from doing, or do I enjoy doing what I'm doing right now? Absolutely, absolutely. So what I thought was hard, or was I thought that my background doesn't back me up of being a startup founder in the food and branding industry in Silicon Valley. I'm glad I was so wrong. Because the company, the brand that I'm building right now, it's actually a combination. All the dots are coming together from from my background. The brand DNA that Noodelist has today is thanks to my Asian, my Vietnamese Chinese heritage. And I say that I have a Finnish, startup has a Finnish attitude. We can go and jump into the very cold water straight from the hot sauna. And I like to say that I also have a Silicon Valley mindset that I have learned from my over 15 years in Silicon Valley. The amazing can-do positivity attitude that you're surrounded, I've been surrounded. People just thinking about the possibilities, the opportunities, instead of the fear of failing. I think the failing is just, they think it's the part of the journey that I learned. So for all of you who's listening, thinking of your next step, of your can I, would I was in between the crossroads. One is the super safe. I'm sure you have, you're standing there right now. And one of them you are doubting. I have my rule of thumb is it always goes towards the road that I'm doubting, so I can kick that doubt out of my way. And how do you know, would you be successful? Is it right? You will find out. And I'm going to end this with my husband's always a supportive saying in Finnish. He always says to me when I have a hard day, he says in Finnish, hyvin se menee. It means that it will go well. So I'm wishing you, whatever you're choosing, go for it. The only thing you have to lose is money. Jump and do it, because you can always go back to work, but you will never have the time to go back and the regret that you didn't do what you wanted to do. So with that ending, I'm wishing you that hyvin se menee. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Thuong. I mean, what an amazing journey. And it really does take a lot of guts and a belief in yourself to take such a great leap of faith, you know, leaving a comfortable job and starting a company during a pandemic. So congratulations to you on that. And I'm really looking forward, you know, I've known you a long time now, and I'm looking forward to continue watching, you know, following your journey. So thank you.
Thank you. Do I still, actually, for those who were listening, I want to share the promo code. I think, did I share it earlier? It's a SV forum. So I'm again honoring Denise, and I'm not pitching my company, but I would love to share the ball of instant happiness with you all.
And absolutely, I know people who have ordered that, and the reviews are in. They're raving.
Right. Amazing.
So people know.
All
I need
right.
to order it.
All right. Thanks so much. Thanks so much, Denise,